What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Amethyst. I just want you guys to know this now, that this channel is only meant to vent or basically describe my current or past experiences and only focus on that. It's basically a way to vent. So if you don't like what you're hearing, this isn't the channel for you. I'm sorry it has to be done this way, guys, but yeah. If you guys want to know about what I had to go through from him, here it is. Hello everyone, I figured I'd try something a little different here. Sorry about the shakiness. As you can imagine, there's been another situation between a friend of mine and myself. So he and I are no longer friends. All over a car. As I put in my vlogging channel here. Somebody basically brought up the topic of his car. Well, he brought up the topic of his car. Talking about how he's only gonna get his wheels and whatnot and rims replaced. Still does not want to work on the suspension like he should. So I said something to him about it, that suspension needs work. He gets exasperated, says he's not gonna get it worked on, and I have to bring it back to him, up to him again, saying that that he needs to get that fixed. That if that car that suspension gives out, that affects me too. His excuse is, no, it's my car. Basically, he thinks that because it's his car, he doesn't have to look out for somebody else's safety while he's driving it. One little issue with that. When you have a passenger in the car with you, yeah, you better look out for their safety while they're in your car. Period. Otherwise, they can actually get you in a lot of trouble. And when you're riding in a car with bad suspension and the tires pop because of all the scraping, or the car catches fire from all of it, I'm sorry, but it's not worth losing everything over. It's not worth losing everything over. So basically, I had to jump on him again because he decided to yell at me in the process, which pissed me off, and curse words started coming into my sentences because I was that pissed. Next thing I know, he decides to use the word, say, "Don't you curse at me." Now, to go off topic here for a moment, guys, the way I see it, cursing at someone is basically insulting them or telling them go to hell or F you, crap like that. Unless you do any of that, you're not cursing at them. That's how I look at it. And I told him this. And that happens to be a fact, the way I look at it, guys. I tend to look at things through facts when it comes to that. Now, the more opinion-based stuff, that part I don't really focus on every fact on, because, well, not until I get every fact on it. The trouble is, getting the facts is really kind of difficult these days. Now, back to the topic at hand, though. I basically told him if he's not going to get that suspension worked on, I am not riding in that Camaro with him. So he decides, fine, don't ride with me. And then I shut my mouth for the rest of that time until he decides he's gonna keep going on about it, all because he doesn't like my choice of music, and he starts behaving like a jerk. He ends up tossing down the silverware. I didn't know that he pinched his finger, and he decides to, when I make a comment of, yeah, nice, in a workplace, he decides to go, if you gave a shit, excuse my language, you'd know that I pinched my finger. He's basically calling me, sorry about that, everyone. My dad called me. Let me know he took a picture of a Jaguar E-Type that he wanted me to look at. And that's a very old model, everyone. But back to the topic at hand. When it comes to Robbie and accusing me of not giving a crap, pinching his finger, I'm sorry, but he tossed down the silverware next to me. I didn't know he pinched his finger. So I just went and said, oh yeah, great job doing that in the workplace. And his words were, if you actually gave a shit, you'd know I pinched my finger. He essentially called me selfish, which I'm not selfish. Little proof of that, I bought my dad a drink and I bought my brother a drink last night on the way back from work. And yeah, they were pissed at Robbie. And I found out his recent calls about finding my secret channel. Lies. Bold-faced lies. He's basically lying to me to get his way now. And that I can't tolerate. He's lying to me to control me in an attempt to control me. I was not at all happy. So, because of the whole situation, and yeah, he decided to continue getting angry even more about the whole car situation, and all because he didn't like my music. He decided to bring it back up again, saying that he was going to take me home after work, or do I not, and he put this sarcastically, do I not feel safe riding with him? So, I made a split-second decision after busting his rear for it, that I might as well stop riding with him if he's going to continue behaving that way. So he decides to go, fine, don't ride with me. In fact, I'll never give you a ride to or from work again. My family's pissed at him over that. And honestly, so am I. I told them that I would be walking home. But they weren't going to let that happen. They chose to try and call Robbie, basically get him to give me a ride home, or they would come and pick me up and he would be paying for whatever amount of money and gas they need afterwards. So yeah, he now owes them quite a bit in gas money. That van gets 17 miles per gallon. By the time we got back, we had 30 miles and we had about 30 miles worth of gas left in the tank. There was no way that's going to last more than a couple hours. So my dad had to go and get more gas with his money because Robbie wants to be such a jerk. And I ended up realizing too late that a lot of my stuff was left, that I left a pair of shoes at his house, and after I got back, I realized I'd left a few other things in his grandmother's car. So I asked her last night if she could bring him at some point today, the shoes, and I'm gonna have to add on to her that I left a few things in the car as well. In a white plastic bag with a blue flashlight in it. Now, I'm gonna say this now. If he ends up finding this channel and sees this video and he decides he's gonna withhold my stuff from me, I will contact the police and have them grab it. At that point, he won't have a choice. But anyways, guys, I had to get this out because I may not be able to work there much longer because of his actions. And the way he behaved, I basically told him, fine. Because he chose to keep going, I left him to do all the silverware at work alone. And he decided to say, fine, then you could go home. I don't ever want to see you again, kind of crap. So I'm going to be putting the same thing on, I'm going to be putting something similar on him. If Robbie shows his face at this motel, I will beat the living daylights out of him for what he put me and my whole family through. Over everything he's done wrong in the past few years. Everything. Maybe that'll get him to see from our point of view, because talking to him doesn't work.